week one of Jake's Views and Review for the 2023 General Legislative Session. I am Senator Jake Anderegg, coming to District 22, and anyone else who sees this, who cares? I'm going to give you a quick recap of what we did in week one and also kind of preview what we anticipate is going to come down the pipeline in week two. Well, week one has been very eventful. We started off with Senate Bill 16, which is the transgender prohibition for minors to get surgeries and puberty blockers and whatnot until more research can be done, until we see whether or not it's as effective as what many of the proponents are telling us that it is, and safe. Some of the fear on this is that a lot of the reports that are coming out of Europe, who they're about 20 years ahead of us on these issues, that Europe is seeing, especially in places like Norway, that they're seeing that even when a transgender youth goes through a transition, the suicide rates, which are appalling in the first place, actually have not decreased. In fact, in most instances, they've increased slightly. So if the justification for doing it is to prevent suicide, and yet we're seeing suicide rates increased, there's a lot of concern. So anyhow, Senate Bill 16 passed out of the Senate this week, and now it goes over to the House. I'll let you know how it goes as it makes its way through that process. Also, House Bill 215. This is the bill for teacher pay that was tied with parental choice in education, the voucher bill. Those went together and were passed out of the House today, House Bill 215, and it passed with a veto-proof majority. 54 House members voted for it. It's now going to come over to the Senate, so we're going to hear that bill probably Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week. Also, Senate Bill 100, which was the school district identity disclosure bill. Salt Lake School District, they adopted a private policy that they could do gender-affirming care for youths who have disclosed that they are struggling with gender identity issues without talking or disclosing it to parents. And there's a lot on both sides to this when you're talking about a minor who has, disclosed information that is really health related, and you're keeping it away from their parents, and there's concerns that maybe parents who are very prejudiced, it would be a very bad situation. So this bill did pass out of the Senate. It is going to go to the House, where we anticipate that it will go through some revisions, but you need to know that passed out of the Senate this week. On the horizon, coming into next week, we have, I've got a Health and Human Services recod bill. And this is a bill, I just wanted to explain it. It meant to be one bill, and now it's 8 bills, because we have certain logistical issues where we can't have a bill that's more than 400 pages. This is where we've taken the Department of Health sections of code and the Health and Human Services sections of code and melded them together. Well, it turns out that that's 8 bills. We're not touching any of the policy, we're just melding it all together, but that's kind of a little insight why is Senator Anderegg running 8 Health and Human Services bills? It's for one single issue. So there's that. Also, next week, we're anticipating that the state flag bill will be heard. This is the one that isn't doing away. By the way, here you go, there's the flag. This isn't doing away with the old flag. This is simply giving us a greater resource, another flag that we could use to help iconically identify Utah across the nation. Right now, Utah's current flag, which is a great flag, is indistinguishable from 38 other flags. So the reason we're coming up with this flag is to help us in our marketing, to help us with name ID recognition. But the old flag is still going to be our primary flag. We're not doing away with it. This is just an additional tool. Okay, even though this one's worn out. Lastly, I want to tell you about Public School District Resource Sharing Bill. This is my bill. It's not been numbered yet, but it will be shortly. This bill is anticipating that Alpine School District at some point in the near future is going to split. We want to learn from the mistakes of Canyons and the Jordan School District split, and we want to make sure that we can not have to duplicate a lot of those resources like buses and school lunch and papers and books and whatnot, that we can actually have 2 or even 3 school districts all utilize the same resources. So that bill is coming out in anticipation that sometime in the next 12 to 24 months, Alpine School District might vote to have a split. So that's what we anticipate coming out this next week. You can always reach out to me, Anderegg, jandereg@le.utah.gov. You can text me, give me a call at 801-901-3580. You can always reach out to me on Facebook at Jacob Anderegg or on Twitter at political_Jake. Thank you for tuning in, listening to my ramblings, and if you have any questions, reach out to me. And as ever, this is Senator Jake Anderegg coming to you from the Utah State Capitol Complex saying we'll catch you next time.